For how much I hate on the Red Hot Chili Peppers because I
Dude,
liked them
everyone
as a
will be
kid,
canceled.
you
Everybody
know?
said something at some point in their life that they regret. Okay. That's part of fucking growing up. That's a part of living and learning. You know what I mean? Like genuine hate. Okay. That's something that you might have to like answer for a little bit longer. But like,
Yeah. If,
I
like
don't know,
if you
man.
commit actual acts of evil, then like yes, I think people are fair in holding you accountable. But like if you're just a dickhead and said some fucked up shit at one time in your life, well, you were probably a dickhead at one time in your life. I know I was. So I agree. Like you can't hold people fucking, against the flame just because they said something stupid when they were 22 and now they're 43 and have grown the fuck up. For sure. And now that we're all fired up, what do you say we fire up this here podcast?
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
do it,
down.
man.
Yeah, boys. All right, let's Shed Time podcast in three, two.
This is Bernie Sanders, and Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bernie, stop stealing the spotlight. This is Michelle Lynn of Doldai Mods, and that's what she said. And you're listening to the Shedtime podcast.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You guys heard it. We got all fired up. We are ready to rock and roll. And yeah, I'm feeling hype. I've been listening to a lot of hip hop lately. A lot of that Coast Contra. Dude, I'm so blown away by these guys. Like listeners, if you guys get caught up in your Instagram reels or TikTok feeds, you've probably seen at least some React videos to these dudes freestyling. They're really fucking good, man. I've been chewing up their whole album, chewing up all their freestyles they've done on the internet, and it it gives me that like energy again, right? Like it's like listening to old school Wu-Tang. Like there's like this like cohesiveness between these four dudes when they spit. They know how to feel each other, read each other, and like it's bananas. And their story's bananas too, because like there are four dudes from Philly who basically, threw everything they could at making it and basically rented a one room apartment that all four of them lived in order to like make their dreams come true. And now they're finally blowing up. And so like it's a pretty cool story. But yeah, I've been getting hyped to that. What about you guys? You guys been listening to anything good lately?
Dude, I've mainly just been on my mixed playlist that I have on Spotify, which is just a bunch of random shit. But I have thrown a couple of new things on there recently, like new to me. I'll put it like that. Not
Right?
necessarily like new releases, but like I've listened to the contract with Dre, that project he did with Rockstar for Grand Theft Auto. There's quite a few pretty dope fuck tracks on there, and me being a West Coast guy, I'm just eating it up, dude. Anything Dre puts out, I'm listening to because
Right.
it's fucking Dr. Dre.
Certified bangers.
Exactly.
Every time.
Every one of them, and that thing goes hard. And then, dude, I've honestly really fallen into J. Cole's bag lately, because he dropped the tape, the off season, which was like is like COVID project pretty much, was just like a bunch of tracks they recorded during the pandemic and shit. And dude, there's some fucking bangers on there, dude. Some pretty cool features too, of course, but like I like the feel of the whole album as a whole. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's got a feel to it. And he's got some shit to say. And that's
Dude,
one thing I've liked about Cole. Is like even if you like listen to him in the early days, like he's always had some shit to say. You know what I mean? It's just nowadays he's kind of like fell into his own. You could tell he's more of like a grown, well-rounded person.
well, I mean,
And
like
he's
the
just
dude's well rounded in general, because like
yeah.
I never really listened to J. Cole actively, but like he's been featured on tracks with countless other artists I
Oh
listen
yeah.
to, and it's like he always hangs tight with every one of them. Like he
Dude,
was on a Tech Nine track.
he's up there with he's up there with the best right now, bro. For
He,
sure. I'd say he's up there in top 5 right
I,
now.
I mean, truth be told, I think he's
Like
underrated. He's probably a little
yeah.
slept on. Like I think he's just one of those people that
He's
people
the
like.
East Coast Kendrick.
Yeah, like people aren't seeing
It's like him
his
and Kendrick, I
genius.
feel like are on that same level, but they just got those different styles because Kendrick's got like the West Coast vibe, and then Cole's got the East. But they're both there on that same like intellectual, like lyrical shit. Like, dude, have you heard the new Kendrick shit's pretty crazy too, bro. It's
Like I
different.
need to spend more time with Kendrick Lamar's catalog because like I hear little things from him and I'm like, it's not entirely my vibe. But then I hear some shit from him. I'm like, yo,
His new
that was
stuff,
fire.
bro. His new
So
stuff, bro, is crazy. Because I of course I love Section 80. The first tape he dropped, fuck, Section 80 was sick. All the stuff he did with Black Hippie, that's what got me into like Ab Soul and like J Rock and Schoolboy Q. I've honestly been listening to quite a bit of that lately too, because that's in the playlist. But I've just kind of been getting into like my West Coast bag lately.
I'm gonna straight up say that like almost every single artist that you just said, I have no idea who any of them are. I don't even actually know who J. Cole is, but like I'll listen to
I'm
him.
sure you would if you heard. You probably heard at
Um,
least one song at one point.
Yeah, but like for me, honestly, dude, I haven't been like finding that much new shit lately.
I haven't been looking
But
really though. Yeah. I don't know about you, but I haven't really been looking for anything new.
well, I'm not sure that like I've been looking for it, but like I'm open to it. I've been really just going on playlists, you know what I mean? Like just going off my playlist, like songs, or like I just really have I want to listen to a band and I'll just listen to like 3-4 albums from a band, like front to back and whatever. I think that like one of the things that I have listened to like sort of recently that might be a little bit like, I don't know, I'm not gonna say like weird, but it probably is like a bit weird coming from me. But that artist Aurora, I just like love her voice. I
I don't
just think
even
that she's
think
like
I know who she is.
yeah, I'm not familiar.
yeah, like she's like from like Sweden or Finland or something like that. She has like real blonde hair. Anyways, she's like this like tiny little woman, and she just has like this incredibly unique sounding voice. But like it's like a very pretty voice. And her music is like kind of, I'm not really sure what like label, if I had to put a label on it, is. It's like almost like folky, rocky. I don't know. Like I said, I'm anyways, if you guys
It's
want, you can
different.
check her out. Just listen to her voice. I can't remember any of like her big songs right now, but apparently she was also on like Frozen 2. She sang in Frozen 2.
So she getting that Disney paper. So
Well,
that's something.
yeah, like she at least like did a song from Frozen 2 with another artist as well. But yeah, and when I say that, I mean I've probably listened to like maybe like 5-10 of her songs like 3 or 4 times in like the last month. I am like enjoying it. I just fucking like her voice. It's like Adele for me. Every now and then I just want to listen to Adele because I just think that her voice is so beautiful that I'm just like I'm into it. And it's like that vibe that I'm chasing sometimes. But I'm still rocking like NF all the time also. You know what? And I've tried to like find a couple other people that I like. Like I enjoy his music and I haven't really found one yet. It's like is consistent for me. Like I can listen to the Search
Dude,
that
I
album
actually
like
have
all the way through.
I
No
actually
problem.
recently put an NF song on my playlist. I don't know if it was one that you suggested or somebody else, but it's got Tech Nine on it.
Man,
It's
Tech
actually
Nine.
it goes pretty hard.
I
Dude, a bunch
remember.
of his songs go hard though, in my opinion. I think a bunch of like the Search, that album, like almost every song for me is a banger.
Oh man.
And he does everything. He like sings like all like proper singing, and he's got like a really good voice, and he can also rap real good. Although actually, I showed him to somebody not that long ago, and they'd never heard of him before, and they're from I guess Eastern Europe, and he's like, yeah, he's all right. You guys sounds like Eminem, and I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know
fair.
if I necessarily sound that or hear that, but
He doesn't.
For the people who like aren't really into a lot of hip hop, I feel like they just feel like most white rappers sound like Eminem.
Yeah, he's Eminem.
You know,
rap, he's Eminem.
you know, like I think that's just like it's like a word association game to them. Like white rapper Eminem.
Honestly, bro, that's something that kind of fucking gets on my nerves, dude.
My god,
dude, it's like, yeah, he's white, but dude, listen to what he's saying. He sounds nothing like him. He's not saying the same shit. He's not
there are
even speaking in
definitely
the
some
same
out
cadence,
there,
bro.
Like
The
there are
cadence is
definitely
completely
some
different.
out there. Trust me, like, I'll say that.
You can hear the influence, but still, like they're not.
That's
the
where
same.
they're from. Like he's from Detroit, also. Like that's where NF is from, and like he grew up as a kid with a single mom.
But even then, he's
like
not.
they have a similar story, sure, but like they're not. Really the same.
I mean, like I got really into Aesop Rock, and I feel like that's someone you might get into, Chris, as well, because he's super intellectual and his wordplay is really smart. And like his album Impossible Kid is the one I would say like is your style, because like you could definitely listen to that straight through.
Is there like good fucking beats and shit throughout?
Dude, the
like,
production on the album is amazing, which is the first thing that got me. But like there's one, and I may have put it on a Shedhead playlist during one of the Shedhead sessions on the Green Room.
The last song I was listening to, J-Rock and J. Cole, bro. If you haven't heard this song, dude, this is actually a pretty good banger, bro.
Sean, just a quick, I want to ask you a question. What did you say that album was called?
It's The Impossible Kid. Like there's a song on there called Blood Sandwich that like is one of my favorites on there, and I think I put that on the Shedhead playlist at one point. But like the first verse, he tells a whole story of his childhood at a like a baseball game with his little brother. And the fucking coach ends up getting pissed off at this gopher out in the field that's distracting the kids and kills the gopher in front of everybody. And then the second verse is a whole story of his older brother who got denied tickets to a concert that he really wanted to go to and how it fucking shaped his life.
Okay, I just added the whole album.
Yeah, I definitely think you'll dig it. Like, it's deep, it's meaningful, it's really well written, and there's a song on there about a cat called Kirby.
Yeah, I could deal with that.
Like it's a whole song about him having a cat for the first time because his shrink was like, I don't know, maybe get a kitten. Like, guy's brilliant. And that's actually, that song Kirby is how I first truly discovered Aesop Rock. Somebody showed me that. He's like, yeah, this song's all about his cat. And I started listening to it, and I was like, literally, there's a line in it where it's like, 15 years to take in prescriptions. My shrink's like, I don't know, maybe get a kitten. Like, oh my God. But he's literally rapping all about his cat in such like a smart way that if you're not fully paying attention, you don't understand.
It just sounds good.
Does he scat about his cat, bro? Because if he did, that would be some shit.
A cat scat?
Oh, a cat scat, bro.
Ooh. That'd be an interesting music. Cat scat. Cats 2 on Broadway. Anyway, yeah, that's a scary thought too. Cats 2 on Broadway.
Oh my God, dude. I remember seeing that as a kid and getting
boys,
scared shitless.
I totally forgot, and I'm so excited right now. Sorry. I just like that was not necessarily supposed to be out loud.
It's okay.
Well,
now you have us super intrigued.
I just got excited because I totally remembered what I picked up yesterday and what I'm about to dab right now. Because your boy got some GMO, but it's spelled funny.
Yeah, come on. You got to talk to the camera.
Yeah,
we'll show.
GMO, but GMO. That's how it's spelled. Anyways, dude, I took a dab of this shit last night, bro. Boys, and let me tell you.
Is it nice? Is it nice?
It's a bit nice.
That's all I gotta say about
Yeah.
the GMO concentrates.
That totally just popped into my head right now, and I was like, oh yes, this is gonna be amazing.
I have a strain in my dispensary right now called pineapple mushroom pizza.
The Pete's.
And the actual flavor profile from people who have smoked it is pineapples, mushrooms, and like a tomato basil sauce.
Crazy.
I am super intrigued, but it's also a sativa, and I'm like, your boy doesn't need a padded room right now.
Or do you?
I mean, I got a lot of shit to do. I really don't need to get locked up for being a crazy
it's like,
person.
I got goals to hit.
He's like, I got shit to do today.
You know? Like, on the flip of that, though, like, now that I've got the whole, like, new house thing, maybe the whole fucking yard will get landscaped in a day because I need something to do.
Yeah, there you go. Go out there, go rip some lips, bro.
Oh, my God. No,
Dude,
that'd be
your
too slow
reward.
paced.
No, that's your reward for after you do the fucking yard work. Then you can just like kick back, maybe like have a drink of some sort, just kick back by the fucking pond, just throwing some casts out there.
I got to, I got a hill in the front yard, and I'm like, I have to rake the rest of the hill out so that I can mow that, and then basically the yard's cleaned up. There's more I want to do, but like at least it's got a preliminary cleanup. So
Yeah, well, just remember, okay, this is one thing you got to remember.
shit.
The better that you can put it to bed before winter, the easier spring will be. 'Cause if you
100%.
don't, bro, amount of times that like I used to do landscaping for like many years, right? And you'd go to some places and like the company that you work for would end up taking over a contract over the winter. And then you go and you see what those places would look like in the springtime. You're like, yo, these fucking motherfuckers didn't do shit. Like, no wonder they fucking lost that contract. Like, everything looks so terrible. And then you're just dealing with all that wet, half broken down bullshit. Ugh.
That's what I'm dealing with here because my friends who left me this home, they definitely didn't do much yard work in that sense. So like there's like at least 3, 4, maybe even 5 years, maybe more in spots of just buildup that like you can't use a normal rake. You got to use a steel rake.
Yeah,
Like you got to get deep.
sure.
You got to get in deep and pull it all out and expose the soil again.
Dude, you're gonna probably want to fucking just take like an edger and just fucking get everything just fluffed up, bro.
Well, I got to get in there and aerate too because this soil's never been aerated.
Like what, in the gardens themselves?
Just the grass in general.
The grass, you're probably okay. Like unless like they just constantly were letting it grow to like 6 inches and just like leaving clumps fucking everywhere.
No, like it doesn't have proper drainage at this point. It needs some aeration. Like it's that
even
bad.
just like a dethatch. Maybe it just needs like a dethatch or some shit.
So, well, I mean, I'm just gonna go out there and get the because I have the tractor. I'm gonna get the fucking pull behind for it. And
Yeah, but are you
that.
gonna like pull the cores out, or are you going to just like punch the holes?
I'm not gonna do that for that size aeration. I'm gonna get the like needle size.
Dude, you know what else you could get? Well, I guess you don't push mow your grass. Have you ever seen those fucking like feet attachment like nail things?
Yes.
That are, like that long for fucking that, and it'll be like, oh,
just walk through
while you cut the grass.
Yep. Well, like legit, I thought about that in the sense that like there are certain areas that it would honestly make more sense, right? Because like there are certain little paths that like, dude, you could just walk right through this little tiny area that you can't pull the equipment through, and you'll fucking just aerate that soil real quick because like it's in certain spots it's super compact, water barely seeps into it, so it's like
maybe it's got a real like heavy clay content.
It does.
Honestly, like I think that like a lot of people
does.
don't appreciate that like if you punch a bunch of cores, so like if you aerate your lawn and you pull the cores, then you rake those up and then you top dress your lawn with like a more conducive growing medium or just like a better quality of like soil or sand, whatever you happen to need, if you need drainage, whatever. Um, how much better your lawn can look.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot of work, right? And I understand that's why a lot of people don't do it.
Well, not only that,
But
but
you
like
can really get great benefits. Like it's a
it's
fact,
not
but
talked about either, right? Like that's the thing. Like
it's not common practice, really.
yeah, like if you're just a regular like homeowner taking care of your yard, it's not something that's often talked about. It's just like, oh yeah, throw some seed out and water it, and then you will have a lawn, lots of grass. Ta-da! You are done. And it's like, no, it's not that simple. There are a lot of things
I
if you
wish it
want a
was.
good lawn. And honestly, like that grass means that there's something to drink the water when it rains, which means you have better drainage, which means your house foundation stays safe. Like all of these benefits that,
Everything, dude. You won't get the tractor stuck in a fucking spot that just holds water. And
right.
you're like, oh, I don't remember it raining for like the last like 3 or 4 days. And then you drive through and you leave this huge fucking rut from your tractor. That's the worst because that means you got to go back and fix that fucking rut.
Yep. Like there's so many benefits to having good, strong, healthy grass. Like even like people don't talk much about picking the right grass. Like I got acidic soil and heavy shade through most of my yard. I guarantee you that like whoever laid the grass out here 20, 30 years ago, they weren't thinking about that. They were just throwing seed.
No, it would be the same everywhere. They'd be like, oh, we're going to go to this part of town, this part of town, that part of town. They just drive their fucking like hydro seeder around.
Dude, like this house was built well before I think the advent of hydro seeds.
No, no. Hydro seeding's been around for a long time, man.
Oh my god, I think this house has been too sometimes. I'd love to know when it was actually built. I'm curious because like there are times I look at stuff and I'm like,
It was probably like the 70s or something like that.
I wonder, was it the 70s? Was it the 50s? Like, I wonder sometimes. There's some moments I go, why would you do it that way?
It's
But
like, oh, that's how they did it back then. Wrong.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Well,
Cool.
hey, the code was different.
Yeah, well,
That is true.
that's true.
You
They maybe
know?
didn't know any better.
Building code was completely different in different eras. Like, you know, you get these old houses that you get to like do a renovation in or whatever, and you end up seeing like the studs are super far apart. And you're like, how is this house still standing? This can't be safe. But code was different in the 1920s or the 1840s or whatever it might be.
Yeah,
Oh
I
man.
think that's why I think that recently, I don't know like what it's been like near you guys, but with like the real estate market over the last year, it kind of got pretty wild. And I think it's starting to like come down a little bit. But it was like so wild that like people were putting in crazy offers and like have no conditions. So it'd be like, we're not gonna get an inspection. There's none of this shit. Like we're just basically buying it like as is. And a lot of people would end up when they wanted to get insurance or something, they'd end up just getting destroyed because they'd have to put shit up to code if they
Mhm.
wanted to change anything. So they're like, oh, we want to just like do this, do that. It's like, oh, you have to do this and that and this and that.
Yeah, it's like you
Because
might as well
a
just
bunch
tear
of
the
shit's not up to code.
existing property
redo the
down
entire
and just
side.
build it all
Yeah.
over again.
Yeah, it's like tear it to the studs, redo everything, and then you're good.
Yeah, just
But then the
bulldoze the
next
whole
person-
fucking thing and put up a goddamn new house. You're better off now.
Yeah, it's like then the next person comes and they have to change like a bunch of things from when you did. It's like,
Yo, there was a story, speaking of like the whole real estate market going bananas like that around here, of this nice little suburb just outside of the city of Boston, and it was this tiny piece of property with a house on it that was literally like a 1-bedroom tiny little house. Couldn't have been more than like the size of a like 1 or 2 car garage, you know what I mean? Like tiny little house, and it went up for like $250,000 of dollars or something like that because of its location alone. The fact that that property where it was located gave you a place that was like close to the city, around all these other amenities that you needed. Like insane. How do you $700,000 fucking dollars for a 1-bedroom house? just because it's near the city, but in a nice neighborhood.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like shit's only worth what people will pay. So if people continually pay higher prices, shit's just gonna cost more, right? I guess
And
it's
you've
one of
got
those
market
things that's just
value,
like,
and
yeah, it's
that's the
like one of
thing,
those
right?
things where you're just like, all right, so here's the deal. Nobody buy that house, so they have to lower it. And then at some point, someone's just gonna be like, fuck you, I'm fucking grabbing this, I'm cool with paying that. And then the whole thing's gone, you
I
know?
mean, I guess if you're
You
clever,
see that in
right?
like anything though.
Like, I guess if you're clever, you buy the property, you raise the building, and you build something, again, taller, maximize your space sort of situation. But, like, that's a crazy investment. Unless, like, literally the person who bought it, like, bought it to flip it.
Well, dude, like if you're gonna buy a place for like 800, $900,000 and you're just gonna fucking doze it and rebuild, like, bro, that place better be worth 2 million after the time you're done. Cause otherwise, like, what are you doing?
Right. Like, it's crazy. But that's
If you're
like,
just losing fucking mad cash because you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna fuck bold. I like this area, but this house is old. I'm gonna just pull the dude. That happened in like my hometown so bad. Like if I go back there now, there's this subdivision that was built in like the 50s and 60s, and now there's just probably I don't even know if 50% of them are the original homes. Most of them of like are all newer-ish ones that take up so much of the lot that are like 4,000 square foot houses. And it's fucking terrible, dude. But those people obviously found value in buying a house that was already fairly expensive, tearing the house down and building a fucking monstrosity on it. But now, dude, it's probably worth millions of dollars.
Or inheriting one.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
that's the thing too. Yeah, good call.
Because
Good call.
like, well, when you said like the around the time they were built, there's probably like people, that bought those houses, when they were built, had their families, grew up in them, their kids grew up, moved out, they stayed in those homes, and at a certain point, they either may have passed or whatever, and some of their kids may have inherited those properties and said, fuck it, let's tear this house down, build something dope as fuck, and we could probably get twice as much as we would have gotten for the other house that was here, and it didn't really cost them the initial investment.
Yeah, like I think that could very well happen.
I'm not
like
saying that's like what the majority of it is, but that's definitely something that could happen too. Like that just popped in my head. Like that's definitely one option too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're if we do this, we can get a lot more for it, then yeah, that makes sense, right?
Either
but
that or
some
just
people would also just be like, oh, this house is going to sell for 900K and I have one sibling. That's cool. Like I don't need to worry about trying to like get everything else in that area selling for 1.6. I don't need to fucking get that. You know what I mean?
Or some that may have just like, well, like, hey, I grew up in this neighborhood. You know what I mean? It was a nice neighborhood. Fuck it, let's just settle here. But let's build our dream home here.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I know of families around here where like the the family property, the old farm, if you will, from 100 years ago that's been handed down over and over was eventually like sold off to town. Now there's like the old family plot that they've lived on and handed down to grandma to now, the next one in line, so to speak. And I've definitely seen situations where it's like, yeah, when we got it, we tore this down and we put this up. Or we, added an addition to increase its value.
It's like we did a complete remodel.
Right, exactly. And honestly, with some of those people, I won't be shocked if the generation that I grew up with, who, when they inevitably inherit it, do something else like that, like a total remodel.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of the cool thing, though, right? Is that like, if it's a remodel, you do get those like pieces of history throughout. Unlike, the people who just tear it all down and then rebuild it. Like, I know when we rebuilt this studio a couple of years ago and we were digging into the mic booth wall, there was a stud that everybody signed who had worked on the basement to help them build this whole basement out. And then in the initial year when they first moved in. And so we actually continued it and built it into the walls here. So that way, like, that history just continues on. And like that shit's cool. I dig that. Like that shit's special. You imagine you fucking go renovate an old family home and there's like your uncle's signature inside the wall and next to like your great uncle's signature from, 100 years before that or some shit like that. Like that'd be cool as hell.
No, that would be actually pretty cool. It is neat, like when you see like on some of those TV shows, or actually even remember when we were talking to Johnny Drips and he was like talking about stuff and he was like looking through old like things or whatever, like at his grandfather's house. You guys remember that?
Yep.
Um, that shit is fucking cool, man. And like even if you like tear down, excuse me, tear down a wall and there's like newspaper in the wall or something, you know, like some people do that. They'll like take the front page of the newspaper,
Dude,
slam it behind a wall, and it's
I
like could
I
be
know
X number of
someone
years later.
I know someone who had an even crazier version of that where this girl I used to date when I was, graduating high school, her family inherited their grandparents' house. Beautiful, beautiful house that grandma and grandpa built when, they settled down here. Um, and as they were doing their renovations, they tore open a wall. They found her great grandfather, his military uniform hidden, hung up neatly inside the wall.
Dude, that's cool.
Like they found money hidden inside the walls because in the older age, as the dementia was setting in, they started hiding things in crazy places throughout that house. So like as they started renovating, they started finding all these cool things, family heirlooms that had been hidden, like the uniform, money, like holy shit, identification cards, like crazy amazing stuff.
Yeah, I know. Like when my parents ended up moving, or my grandparents ended up moving out of the family farm that like my dad grew up on and shit, and my dad helped them move. My dad found these paintings that like his grandfather painted of like the farm he grew up on when he was a kid. And dude, like we actually have them hanging up in our house now. But like, dude, these paintings are like shit that you would see in like a museum, bro. Like they're that fucking quality. Like I was honestly like blown away. And then come to find out, like my dad's grandpa was like an actual like, pretty good painter, and like he'd had like a mural that was like hung up in their high school of like some specific thing. I can't remember off the top of my head because I'm too stoned right now, but yeah, dude. I was like, damn, I didn't even know we had painters in the family. Well, other than my dad was like, he like painted houses and shit as like a side job when like I was growing up as a kid, but it was just a trip. And then like we found this other one not too long ago. I don't know if we've got it hung up yet or not, but it's pretty dope too.
Dude, that's one thing. Like, I don't have any art from family. Like, nobody in my family was well, that's not entirely true. My uncle was actually a really good artist, and at one point he did tattoo, and these eye tattoos I have on my biceps are actually original art from my uncle, that I had him draw for me. So I do actually have a piece of a family member's original art. But other than that, he was like the only one who was super artistic. Everybody else was artsy in other weird ways, I guess. Like my grandmother was a craft person and did some weird stuff. Like I have a Christmas ornament she would make every Christmas time for like crafts fairs. They would eat a bunch of lobster because we live in New England, so lobster is pretty common. So they would save all the claws throughout the year. And my grandmother would paint them white and then make Santa Claus as Christmas ornaments.
Nice.
So like my grandmother would do weird stuff like that. At one point she was making this she came across this article pattern thing about how to make a basically a bra and a pair of shorts out of a dishcloth and a couple of hand towels or whatever. and that way you could sell it as a set. And so the gag is like you bought somebody a bra and some booty shorts, and it's kitchen equipment. uh, but like, yeah, that was the like other side of the art world in my family. Um, otherwise, like it was rigid stuff. Like my grandfather on my father's side, my father, they're engineers. So I mean, it's not technically art, but I guess it's a creative outlet.
Yeah, I would say so for sure. It's creation at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely interesting when you see someone like my father was an electrical engineer. So he would do things like MIT in Boston had a new building they were working on, and my father was on the project, and they had to figure out how to run, electrical systems through this whole building so that all the laboratories would have their proper power and all that bullshit, right? And he was showing me the plans, and part of the shtick of this building in MIT is that there isn't a single right angle in the whole building.
Huh.
So how do you work with traditional conduit materials when you can't make any right angles? So yeah, it can create some interesting challenges and opportunities to try to problem solve. Because I mean, that building's nuts. I've looked at pictures. You can check it out on the Google internet website there if you choose. It's called the MIT Stata building, if I remember correctly. But like their idea was basically like if you took a real building and dropped it, so like everything's like shifted and off center and nothing looks right. It is pretty fucking cool.
Dude,
Yeah, I can't even picture it right now, so it's got to be interesting.
yeah, like that does sound interesting for sure.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect from MIT kids, right? These guys, MIT has a obvious history, like most schools. The graduating class, the seniors always pull a senior prank, right? So MIT, being the kind of engineering nerds that they are, one year they disassembled a fire truck from the campus, carried it to the roof of one of the buildings, and reassembled it on the roof.
Wow.
I mean, like these are the kind of pranks that these kids are gonna pull. For a gag project, some MIT students rigged a point and shoot video game into the urinals in one of the bathrooms, so that while you were standing there taking a piss, you were using your pee stream to like shoot your target.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's actually kind of cool, bro.
Yeah, like this is the kind of crazy shit MIT
dude.
guys get into.
Yeah, that's some like stoner smart kid shit.
For real. Like I mean, let's face it, these are the guys that build battle robots, right? And then, go on to things like Robot Wars or whatever the game show's called. Like these are these kind of, smart techie people. So yeah, like there's been some cool stories I get to see. These are also, the people working with Boston Dynamics and making, autonomous robot animals, which is terrifying.
That kind of sounds terrifying, actually.
Like there's one that like can
got,
literally chase people down at the speed of like a cheetah. It's kind of scary.
They're nuts, man. Dude, honestly, it's like iRobot, bro. Shit's gonna happen.
It's yeah. I mean, come on now. All it takes is a quick Google search to see how realistic sex dolls have gotten.
Dude, I don't even want to go there, bro.
Dude, like
I
they
can
look
honestly
like
say I've never done that, but
your boy
Google
likes to
on
go on some kinky websites sometimes. I'm just gonna be flat out honest, and so you end up seeing ads to buy these things, and sometimes you're on websites where they sell things, including these devices, so you see them on their website. Yo, they look so scary human that like once you get true, like proper autonomous robots, you can put that fucking doll suit on it, like it's over. You won't know if you're talking to a person or a robot. It's creepy, man. That's fucking creepy. like,
No, that is absolutely creepy.
these two technologies both exist, and when they basically begin to intertwine, like you'll have robots that'll look just like human beings, they'll act like human beings, and it will actually be like those movies where you don't know until you remove the panel off the back of the head and you're like, oh, you're the robot. Imagine falling in love with a robot, not knowing. You go out on a bunch of Tinder dates with this girl and you fucking fall in love with her. You find out it's a goddamn robot.
Dude, no, I don't want to think of that, John. That sounds like a fucking nightmare, bro.
Oh my god. That is a fucking dystopian fucking future waiting for us in a movie coming to a theater near you.
Yeah, dude, keep these
Holy
fucking thoughts to
crap.
yourself until like you can get it on paper. You know what I'm saying?
God damn it, right? Like that
Damn.
is horrifying.
Dude, I wouldn't
Horrifying.
honestly watch a movie come out about that in the next like week.
I know. Hollywood's listening to me. They know I got the ideas.
Either that or like you just seen the future, bro.
Well, no, it's honestly because I've seen shit like that already, like in movies, and it's fucking weird, dude. It's weird. It's creepy. It's disturbing. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, it freaks me
Dude,
out.
honestly, like the whole like Web3 is like kind of like this real weird thing for me. Like I
understand that at all either.
Want to like live in it and like work in it and like party in it and whatever. But for me, I'm just like, I don't know. I just don't know. Like, do I need to be like an avatar and like rolling through some virtual like place just to like hang out with my friends? I can just like hang out with my friends in a fucking Zoom call. Like, you know what I mean? I don't
Fact.
know.
No,
And
but
see their
100%.
actual face.
Yeah, it's like I'd rather do that, but maybe that's just I think that
Dude,
being involved
honestly,
in like NFTs, bro, there's so many younger people that have like issues with like saying their
This
real
is the
name
big.
or
This is the
anything.
biggest thing. Yeah, the like the anonymity, is that the word?
Mhm.
Anonymity.
Of like being like on like online is what people nowadays strive for, bro. Like that's what they're wanting. That's what they're looking for. Well, I'm not saying like all people, but most like younger people, like, because like you're saying, they don't want people to really know who they are or that sort of thing. They want to be able to go out there and say whatever the hell they want, do whatever the hell they want, and not be held accountable because no one knows who they actually are.
Yeah, I know that shit is tough these days. Like keyboard warriors for sure are very existent.
There's a lot, man.
And like,
I mean, but this pandemic has made people brave enough to say it out loud now, and that's even crazier.
yeah,
like-
I think that a lot of people, we talked about it before, like people just like forgot how to people over like the last 2
Oh,
years.
100%.
But yeah, man, like I find that like just you can go anywhere, dude, and there's toxic people. That's it. It's like you could, when you're even in high school or grade school, you know, you could like every person in your class, but there's that one person. That
Well,
like,
no, I'm
I
not
don't
even
like
saying
this
so much
person.
that they want to go on there to do nefarious things necessarily. It's just they there might be people out there that may be afraid of certain things that they're into or they enjoy, or like the people, how people around them may react to it. So with that, they don't have to worry about it because they don't know who they actually are. So they can be into whatever their weird kink may be, or be into this weird, you know, hobby that most people wouldn't understand or that sort of thing, and not feel judged for it because no one knows it's actually them.
Yeah,
They just
nobody
think it's
knows
this
that
avatar.
Bill in the office is also Foot Guy 283.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Like that was kind of more my point. You know what I mean?
Like-
It's like you could be out there doing God knows what, but in real life, no one knows that it's actually you besides you. And some
Yep.
people get a rush out of that, dude.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, no,
Not only that, but they also, you know, may be able to be who they want to be without feeling judged for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the liberation
Dude,
of that
that's
is
a big thing
thing
right now too, is everybody feels like they have to conform to whatever everybody else thinks is the right thing to do or the right thing to be or the right way to act or whatever. So some people may feel they're not able to be their complete selves, which is unfortunate. And I wouldn't want to feel that way. You know what I mean? But I also have gotten to the point where I'm okay with being myself and don't really care what everybody else thinks. You know what I mean? And it is what it is.
Yeah,
I
but you're
mean,
also not like putting out weird content on like
Well,
social
no. Well,
medias, right? So
well,
like
who
maybe
knows?
it
Here's the
gets your
thing.
like
Some
that's
people
to
may
his
think
point.
the whole vape thing that I do is weird. You know
Oh
what I
no, but
mean?
like no, but I think that like vaping is more socially acceptable than like getting choked or
Well,
whatever
yeah,
during
yeah.
like
I
weird
wasn't
kinks and
necessarily going that far,
no, but I'm just
but
saying, right? Like
yeah,
because there could be people that are into that and there might be shit on Twitter, there might be shit on like 4chan or Reddit, whatever, right? And then they're not gonna be like, yo, it's like Chris Snyder from Peterborough, Ontario. Like that's not gonna be my name in the fucking
yeah.
on like 4chan. You know what I mean? Be like, well, this guy has some wild takes. I'm gonna just Google him.
right. But that's the thing. Like, would the whole concept of Web3 and the interactions that you make on the internet be where something that took that, right? Like,
Well, shit could
could
follow you back too, right? Like how many people have gotten fired over like Facebook posts or shit that
hmm
they do fucking online? Or
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they get
the
fired or just like canceled entirely from like whatever life they might have had. It's crazy, man.
I mean, and in all fairness, some of those people deserve it. I mean,
Yeah,
if you like,
100%.
some of those people
Some of those
truly deserve
people,
it.
I wish
You
they got caught way before that.
you steal from an old lady on the clock in your work truck and get caught. Yeah, you deserve to be fired, fuckhead. you know so like sometimes it is warranted, but that's the thing, right? Is again, like we missed this calls back to last week, that whole intent, right? Like sometimes it's that like I'm young, I'm dumb, and I'm uneducated, and now it's 20 years later, and I'm more well versed in life, and I understand things differently, and sometimes we just find out that you were a shitbag then and you're still a shitbag now, and fuck you, buddy.
Yeah, so you got all your chances, bro.
Yeah,
Sorry.
like 20 years and you still ain't learned. You need to get fucked. And not in the
And
good
that's
way.
and that's the thing is like, so there are situations where some people obviously they don't change and they continue down the path that they've always gone down, but then there's situations where people do change. You know what I mean? They know they fucked up 10-15 years ago and they've done great things since then to combat that and make a difference, but you're gonna go back and now fucking dog them for something they did a long time ago, even though they've made a change for the better. It's like that's the thing that kind of upsets me sometimes. It's like, what happens in the past is in the past. You know what I mean? If it happens again, then get them. You don't have to bring it up fucking 15 years later just because you don't agree
Yo.
with some shit.
I think that's a great argument right there for expungement of certain crimes in people's records, right? Like if 16, 20 years ago you got arrested for possessing some drugs, and it's been all this time, and you could clearly show that you've made a decent human being of yourself since that, like that should now be removed from our record. You should be allowed to just be like, yeah, no, I have no convictions. I think that is a great argument for that right there. Like,
Well, it's like, dude, you could be like a person who like hates fucking working and struggles at like every job you got because you don't ever want to go. And then one day shit just clicks for you. And you could be like, okay, yeah, like I like this person. They work really hard. And you can move forward from that because that's when you start using references. You know what I mean? It's like you forget about all the other references and you start building new ones. And you can have that, right? So like there's certain times that you can like kind of be, I don't know. I'm not gonna say like be a bad whatever it happens to be, but I guess it could be even just like you make poor decisions at one point doesn't mean you make poor decisions forever. But like getting in trouble when you're a teenager for having like a couple of joints is definitely different than like you drinking and driving and killing somebody. You know what I mean? Or
Exactly.
something like that.
Exactly.
Like that be like, whoa, you made real bad decisions. Like I'm not sure. Like you can fully recover from that.
You know, I
I
mean,
hope that you can. Maybe you can, but I think it'd
and
be a lot
again,
more
like
difficult.
in that vein, like I would argue you could expunge, say, you know, buying booze for someone underage, because like let's be real, right? When I was 21, I bought for my 20-year-old friends to drink. Fuck it, dude. We're like 6 months away from your 21st birthday. Fuck it, I'll buy you beer, of course.
Yeah, it's like the curse and blessing of like having an early birthday.
Yeah, like
Right?
exactly, because I was a January baby,
Yeah.
so it was like, yeah, of course, bro, of course.
Or be like, yo, Chris is old, he's 19. I'd be like, yeah, I guess I am. All right, let's go. It's like I'd be at a party, be like, we need someone who's old enough to fucking get beer, and I'd just have to like dip from the party. Like just ride along with some sober Sam because like they didn't have any beers. One thing I will say though is like having an early birthday definitely got me like a few extra joints and like bong tokes.
Oh,
along the
dude,
way.
I was either always the youngest, and then there was a point where I was the oldest. But even then, like, I wasn't buying beers for everybody because it was already there. Already there most of the time.
Yeah. I was definitely that guy at times. So like, if I had ever gotten caught up on that, like, I don't think that should be held against me. You know, in my 30s and 40s, when I'm clearly, you know, smarter now, and I'm a way more responsible adult. And you know, it's literally like the circumstance, right? It's literally the circumstance. I have friends who I've been friends with forever. Of course, they're gonna drink with me. We've been drinking underage the whole time anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not even thinking about it from the legal
Allegedly.
perspective.
No, dude, like
Allegedly.
as you hit that age, like you're like the MVP too. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like your homies are like, yo, man, thank God. Like finally now we don't have to worry about how we're gonna get alcohol.
I mean, even
It's
when we
like
were
you've been
like
getting drunk
younger
with the
and
guys for 6 or 7 years. It's like what all of a sudden now you're not gonna give it to them? Are you fucking mental?
right?
Like, what the hell?
Exactly. Like that's the thing. And so like I'm not gonna hold that against somebody. But again, if you fucking drink and drive and kill somebody, all right, you're gonna wear that fucking
Yeah, you
on your
wear that
record for
forever.
life.
Yeah.
Like exactly.
Doesn't mean you can't be a good person. Doesn't mean you can't make good decisions going forward, but you're still fucking wearing it.
Yeah, like it's still just on you. Like that's fair. That's just fair. But again, laws aren't always fair. They aren't always just. They just try to be. And
Yeah.
that's you know that's where we end up where we're at. Where sometimes people are you know against the system until it works.
Yeah, you know what? There's a lot of people that complain about the system until like something goes their way, and then they're like, about fucking time something like is actually done properly." You know what I mean? It's
Well,
like,
like
Yeah.
I'm learning more these days that like this system works for you once you know how to work the system. We're not taught how to work the system because if we all knew how to work the system, it wouldn't work anymore. This is why the rich get richer and the poor stay poor, right? Because the rich people have learned how to work the system and they can make the most out of the least while no one's teaching anybody else, you know, in the middle and lower classes. It's all kept in like the wealthy families passed down through their families. Like, listen, this is how you game the system. No, do this instead of this. No, write that instead of this. No, click this box, not that box. You know, like these are the things that we're not taught in life. If we were all taught this, dude, we'd be fucking cold chilling. I'm not a greedy man, you know?
that's the thing, right? And like that's why you'll even see it. They'll be like, once you know people that can like take advantage of things or like make sure that the system operates correctly for them, you kind of like see like this like hive mind where like they'll just like get everyone that they know to like utilize this and figure this out, and it's like they unlock this locked
Well,
room whatever for
it's
a
like
bunch
it's
of
like
people they
cheat
know.
codes, right? It's like once
Yeah.
you find out the cheat code, you're like, bro, you know the cheat code? You want it? Like,
Dude, it's like, it's like if you open one business, you figure out all the bullshit you got to go through. And then if you go to open another one, it's like you have cheat codes because you know that you can avoid doing this and it costs extra money that's unneeded. And you just like get more experience. And then if you have a homie that wants to start a business, you can kind of give them that like little bit of a fucking leg up. And then it
dude,
just keeps on going, right? And then if you're an entrepreneur and all your friends are entrepreneurs, it's like every idea is going to just get you that much further because you just have all
exactly.
these connections. It's like so many things in life, right? The more connections you are, the better you end up being.
My favorite cheat code I've seen as far as being a business owner was concerned uh, was how to make every meal a write off. Because basically all you got to do is sit down and say, hey, do me a favor, ask me about work. Talk about work for 2 or 3 minutes. All right, now it's a work meeting. Write off.
Yeah, I think that like there. Okay, this is my one fear, is what it is. My one fear is like having to justify every single thing when I'm trying to go a little bit over the top about what I'm trying to claim, right? And like that's like always my fear. My fear is like going too far that you get questioned and then you have to like make sure everything is so fucking on point. And like I'll let you guys in on a little secret. I'm not a fully on point guy. I'm like a I get by guy. Maybe sometimes I excel a little bit, but I'm not on fucking point. So for me, it's like there's certain things that like I'm not gonna try to claim or I'm not gonna try to do because I just have this fear of getting called on my bullshit because that's possible, right? Like unfortunately that's the rules.
I'm right there with you, Chris. I'm the same way. Like I've had people say, "Oh, well, dude, you should fucking write that off. You could write this off. You could write. Well, you do this, right? Have you ever bought this for work? Yeah, you can write it off, bro. Write it off. Write off." And I'm like, but dude, if I ever get called on, I don't have any way to prove this shit. Other than the fact that I said I did it. You know what I mean? And that like that fucking thought in the back of my head's like, nah. I'd rather just do like what I've got to do, you know what I mean? Claim the shit that I know I can claim, and then it is what it is,
Yeah. Well,
because
that's
like
what gets me. I'm not a receipt keeper.
I'm not either.
And like you got to
Dude,
keep receipts to be able to prove that these things happened.
there's certain
And
receipts that I can remember. So like I'm very used to like collecting gas receipts is from like you like having to save them for tax purposes for a really long time. So now like even though I don't write off any fuel, I still will pump like print it out and I'll look at it and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's right, you don't need this, and then I like recycle it, right? So like
Yeah,
But
I
yeah.
don't keep receipts anymore because I don't keep it because most of the time all I do is I'll just open up my phone and look at my bank app and see whatever I fucking bought or how much I spent.
but that's the thing, right? Is like when you start getting into being a business owner now, you're trying to keep these receipts that you can show all these purchases, because then when you bring them to the tax person for all of this, you can, here's all the meals for the write-offs, here's all this for that, here's all this for that write-off, here's all that for this write-off. And like,
Yeah, see, and I don't even go to a tax man because I just do it myself.
yeah, exactly. Like we just keep it simple. And like that's the thing. Like when you get to that point, like that's what you have to do, because you don't want to have to do the itemized deductions. That shit takes forever. So you pay a fucking tax person. You go, here you go. Thank you. You go to H&R Block, one of those things. You actually get a tax person, and have them prepare your taxes for you. And this way they know the tax law and they know how to fucking justify everything so you don't get flagged. Me, I ain't trying to do that because I can't. I'm like you. I'm not a receipt guy.
I'm
I don't save
stupid
them.
in
I
like the
can't
grand
stay on
scheme
top
of
of
things,
that.
guys. Like, let's be honest, I'm not the smartest guy in the grand scheme of things. So a lot of shit I don't fucking know. So I do what I know.
Yeah, I know a
And
lot
that's
about a
it.
little and a little about a lot. That's where I
exactly.
stand in this world.
I may excel in some areas, but in a lot of areas, not so much.
Yeah, for me, working the system, I'm only just starting to learn, and I'm like, okay, I could do that, but I'm also a pothead, which means I get stoned, and I go, I'll do it later.
Story of my life.
Yeah, man, for me, honestly, it's like my brain will just like move off of that for like, I'll think about it and I'll be like, oh, yeah, that's right. I got to do this. And then, like, within a minute, my brain's like, oh, how about this? And then I'll be like, oh, that's right. I need to do this. And then my brain concentrates on that. And then it'll like flip to something else. So, like, I blame my brain a little bit. I've tried to like reel that shit in, but like,
See, I'm a very
it's right now,
analog
it's not
person.
gonna
Like,
happen.
I like to write notes. The problem is that I'm not a person who carries a pen and a paper with me at all times to write notes and keep lists. So it's kind of a dysfunctional relationship.
Well, you know, you do have a thing in your phone probably most of the time you can take a notes on, but like
I do, but
I
again,
don't do that either. So.
it's that disconnect. Like I need the analog action of actually physically writing it out because it slows me down, right? The typing it out in the phone, it's like set it and forget it. Once it's in there, I'm not looking back until the next note I need to write, and then it's like, oh, yeah, well that was 6 months ago. Oops. You know, but if I have a little notepad or something with me, like I'm good. Like in a work setting, I got my notebooks and stuff. My shit's on point. But that's because like that shit's what that is, and that's where it is, and that's what we're doing. But I try to do that in my day to day life. I'm not very good at that. Not very good at all. Which is something I always thought was crazy. Like I worked in places where it's like, yo, I can keep my workstations clean. Why do I have such a hard time keeping my kitchen clean or my living room clean? What the hell? What is wrong with me? I can do it at work. Why can't I do it here?
Dude, that's another thing I struggle with too, is I could keep my work area real clean, but then I come home and my shit's always just like just scattered mess. You know
Yeah,
what I
you know
mean?
what I
Nothing's
mean?
ever goes back to its place. It's just like I got like a pile of stuff here, a pile of stuff there. It's like, oh my God,
Yep.
what are you doing?
Yeah. Like why are you disciplined in a different building that's not yours?
Because that's the thing, bro. It's like I'm held accountable everywhere else.
Ah.
Here, it's like I'm only holding myself accountable. You know
It
what I
Yeah.
does
mean?
make
So
it
it's
like more difficult.
And I'm my own best friend sometimes. So I'm
oh
like,
yeah, I'm my
you're cool,
best.
bro.
I'm my best friend and worst enemy, bro.
Yeah.
I know it for a fact, bro, because I could build myself up to make myself feel real good about a certain situation, and then I could turn around and make myself feel like a real pile of shit. You know what I mean? Just depends on the situation and scenario.
Oh, I mean, that's just being a human. That's
Oh
learning
yeah.
life, right?
Oh
Like
yeah. But I'm just saying, like sometimes I'm a little too much either way.
it's like borrowing a video game from your friend that has no label on it. You have no idea what it is, and you put it in. You have no instructions, nothing, and you just got to start, and you have no idea what you're doing. You just got to figure this game out. That's life, right there.
Yeah.
It's an RPG that you've never heard of, that you have no idea what you're doing, and you just got to fucking do it. Oh shit! A monster popped up. Do I kill it or do I shake its hand? I don't know.
Something.
That'd be a fucking weird thing. Monster has popped up in your path. Do you kill it or shake its hand? I'm gonna shake its hand, and like you become best of friends, and he just starts traveling with you. It's like the Wizard of Oz. No, we're not. We're not buying this one. All right.
No, dude, I'm out there right now, bro. I am out there.
Speaking of out there, you guys ever seen the bug assault?
Yes,
No.
the
The
salt
salt
gun.
gun for shooting bugs in your house?
No.
Yeah, so it's a little plastic gun that you load with like table salt, and this way, like you got a fly that's buzzing around, pissing you off. You can shoot that fucker with the salt gun, and it won't like damage what it hits because it's just a scattering of table salt.
Huh. So
Yeah,
like it's not like a bunch of damage.
right. So I bought one.
It's like a buckshot for flies.
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
it fun to use?
Uh, it should be. I'm waiting for it. I can. It's the funniest thing. I convinced myself to buy it the other night. We were all hanging out in the
Yeah, we were
Discord
talking about it.
talking about it, and I was like, you know what, dude? For 40, $50, listen, if I can take out one fly, and then I can just hand that to my wife and be like, you know that spider that bothers you? Here, handle your business. It paid for itself.
That's
You know,
true.
she's just gonna end up shooting you with it, right?
I mean, that's probably going to be a thing too.
It's like,
Let's
yeah,
be honest. I know my
Fully
wife well enough,
expected. It's possible.
but yeah,
gonna happen.
the fact that like I'm gonna be able to hand that to her, but here you go, just go ahead, take care of it, and she'll be able to shoot something fucking some bug she doesn't want to deal with. I'm all for it. All for it. There you go.
You guys are gonna just start setting up stuff just to shoot in the living room. Get target practicing.
You know us so well.
I know, I did. I know it because I would be doing it.
Well, it's what's terrible, right? Is like through the move, I found my pellet gun. I don't have any pellets, so all I gotta do is get some pellets, and I can get out there and just fucking plink around the backyard with this thing. And what's even funnier about this one is it's spring action. I don't have to use CO2, so it actually has a clip that you have to load the pellets into.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
So I think it's like you load 13 pellets, load it in, pull the bolt, pop the trigger, and then you pull the bolt again until you empty the clip full of pellets.
Huh. I imagine that the accuracy on that is not the greatest just because it's like a little handgun and
Well, I mean, range, right? So, like, close range, obviously very accurate.
like
I'd
if you're
say-
a person that liked eating like dove, do you think that you could kill a dove from like
No, like it's not
40
even. It
feet?
doesn't even have the speed because it's spring action, not CO2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really more of a target gun than it is a even
It's like,
like a BB
it's
gun.
like an airsoft gun. Takes a small plastic.
Exactly. Uses plastic
BB.
pellets. And like the
Oh,
idea, yeah,
okay,
like you can
okay,
technically
okay.
shoot your friends with it.
We used to
Like
do
not
that.
in the eye, obviously.
Yeah, not in the face, but like you'd wear like the same kind of protective gear you would to go play fucking
You wouldn't
like
want to shoot
paintball or
fucking
paintball or
you-
something.
You wouldn't want to be shooting cars with them though, because they do leave little dings.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. But like to be totally honest, if you live in the woods like I do now, you have red squirrels who like to terrorize your house and try to like chew through your walls. It'll definitely be a great deterrent. You can pop one right in their little ass and they'll run away. You know what I mean? Remind them like, nope, not here, buddy. You go terrorize somebody else's house, please.
Yeah, it's like keep on walking, homie.
Like, yeah, you gonna get now. You gonna get.
Yeah, we used to run around the neighborhood shooting each other with them.
Oh man, but yeah, like I'd say like for like 20 feet maybe, it's not too bad. But then the drop off because it's a plastic pellet gets really serious, and it just like almost nosedives.
Dude, have you ever gone and played like legit airsoft with like the crazy new like CO2 gas powered shit that they use?
No,
Dude, that shit's nuts.
I know people who did, and I've seen the welts afterward. And I'm like, dude, and I was wearing my pants.
I used to do like paintball when I was a kid, but like airsoft's like a totally different thing, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit more intense.
Well, and like some of them are like straight up like they'll build like their own little mini World War II style area. Like,
Yeah, I went and played paintball at this place called SC Village, and they have like a legit like fucking war zone like sort of scenario where there's like helicopter crashes and like all this other shit like on the field that you get to like use as like cover and all that. But eventually I think a lot of these places ended up turning into like airsoft.
Dude,
But
think
dude, like-
about how cool it would be if they could make like a Call of Duty map.
Dude. Check this out,
Like-
bro.
Is there such thing?
Oh, bro, on not like it's not like a legit like Call of Duty like remake of the map, but they have these
Okay.
places in like England and like Europe and stuff that I watch these dudes play on YouTube that are like legit like it looks like they're like have built broken down buildings and shit you're running through and like fucking sandbag cover and it looks like you're almost playing Call of Duty but airsoft in real life.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude,
Mhm.
because like think about how cool it'd be. Like, not that I would probably ever play it, but like it'd be pretty cool to have like a nuke town, like a real life nuke town. with like the
They've
two
made it.
houses opposed, and like
I've seen a video of it. Some people have like recreated it.
dude, like that'd be fucking awesome. Like I appreciate that there are plenty of maps that are way too big, so you couldn't do it. But like Nuketown, realistically, you
Oh
could do
yeah,
that
I've seen it.
easy.
Look, dude, I'm gonna look up on YouTube right now.
It'd be mad fucking cool though too to like there are like old retired military bases and shit. Like there are obviously air hangar levels
Right here,
and shit like that. Like you
I
could
lit-
use
this
all
is-
of that.
All right, let me see if I can
Yeah, show us. Hit the share screen for the patrons.
share sound.
Oh no, can you share sound though?
Can I or can't I?
I think you can. If it lets you, it lets you.
I know, but we won't get in trouble for it, is what I'm saying.
It's
From
fair
where?
use.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. It's sharing, right?
Yep.
Can you guys see it?
Your celebration during Guitar
I don't
Center
see
Garage
the
Sale.
video. We just see your desktop,
Oh, I might be sharing the wrong screen then.
which is a fire desktop, by the way.
Yeah, you like
Yeah,
that?
for real. Look, it's put together.
Oh, here we go.
Nice.
How's that? Can you see it now?
Now we see
Yeah.
it.
All right.
Dude, that is 100% Newtown.
Anyway, let's oh, he does like a he usually
closer
does like a
before.
what's it called? A run through the map. Oh, he's not playing. Where is it at?
Like,
Is it at the end?
if you apologize,
What the heck?
classes are
This is supposed to be Newtown and it doesn't even show it.
W.
It shows it at the beginning.
Yeah. What
Their
the fuck?
intro.
Stupid.
But
Anyway.
yeah, no, like okay, so that's cool. Like that to me makes
Oh, here we go. Somehow it got to a different video. But yeah, look, there's a bus.
Wait, who?
A fucking little wall. It's pretty sick though.
yeah, dude. No, that's cool. It's just like the game.
Yeah, and like the meticulousness to recreate it too, right?
Well, if you think about it, right, if you're like kind of close to like a populated area or like that scene's big in that area, guaranteed everybody's gonna know that fucking map that's gonna go play. Like I don't think that like you'd go play that and like not have played a first person shooter. And if you played a first person shooter, you've probably played Call of Duty at some point, and they've had that map in like 3 or 4 different games.
See, I'm more of a Medal of Honor guy.
Yeah, I'm more of a Call of Duty guy. Ultimately, like I'm more of a Call of Duty guy or Halo. Like those are like my 2 first person shooters that I've played the most of. But like I've played some like Medal of Honor.
I don't even
I've
think they
played
make
some,
Medal
like,
of Honor movies or games anymore.
I don't think they do either.
Battlefield. I've
That's
played a bunch.
that's how far back I go though. Like I remember the OG Medal of Honor. Like I played the shit out of that game. First couple of them I played the shit out
I
of.
remember playing Delta Force on PC back in the day. Counter Strike,
Oh man, OG Counter Strikes, man.
Black Hawk Down.
Yo, I actually went back and started playing this like super old school game. I think it was from like 96 or 97. It's an old PC game called Harvester. And it's this like horror thriller kind of game where like the character you control wakes up with amnesia and you're in this like weird, creepy 1950s nuclear era town. There's a fucking creepy ass lodge that basically controls everything that goes on in the town, and everybody's just fucking bizarre. And like you have to kind of explore this town and solve these different puzzles that you're encountering. But it's so weird because it's like this OG point and click PC gaming. So like you've got your guy sitting on the screen, and you're like, you get a magnifying glass and it's like, look at window. And then it'll pop up a piece of text. It's like, the window seems like it hasn't been cleaned in the last 15 years. And you're like, oh, word, okay. And then like you can make him go into a building and talk to somebody or whatever. But like really weird that was where we were in PC games. Like that was a cutting edge game in its era, and now like, I mean, World of Warcraft.
Yeah, but I mean, like, we're also talking like the mid '90s was like 25 years ago plus, right? It's
Right.
like
But that's my point. Is like in
it's like
just that
video
25
games have
years,
doubled the amount of time that they've been around, and then some.
and it
I would
probably
think.
took them like 5 to 6 years to develop that game in the early mid 90s. Whereas now, like we could develop games in less than a year in some cases.
Yeah, like fucking killer games too, right?
You know, like crazy, crazy.
Like I'm sure that like most people that are like really into that stuff and have the abilities can probably like pump out like simpler games in like a month, 2 months
Oh, I mean, shit.
that are
Like they're
still with shit all over every game from even 15 years ago.
the fact that like I can literally play GTA 3 on my cell phone. Like it's the GTA 3 that we all grew up playing on my cell phone. Tit for tat. My phone can run it just fine. Boggles my mind.
Well, dude, your phone's probably like considerably better hardware than anything you were playing that shit on originally, though.
And
Right.
It's crazy, dude, because how big the consoles were back in the day to run that game, and now
Right.
you can literally play it on something that you can hold in your hand.
Yeah, like your phone, like that's the thing, right? Your phone could probably handle shit beyond that.
Oh, yeah?
like,
Well,
not
dude,
only can
it's
it
like
do
heavy.
that,
It's
it can
like
do
that
more.
backbone. That what is it called? Backbone? Is that what it's called or whatever? That thing for your phone, where you can you literally open it up and it plugs into your phone and it literally makes it into like a handheld gaming system where you can play like Call of Duty and all kinds of other shit like on your phone.
Oh wow.
You guys haven't seen this thing?
No.
No.
This is
All
news
right,
to
I'm
me.
gonna have to look it up now. I think it's called a back. It's something like that. Back.
I know this. It immediately made me think of this really cool thing I found on the internet through surfing around of a tri screen that attaches to a laptop.
Yeah, it's called the backbone controller, and it like pretty much turns your phone into an Xbox.
That's cool. I'm down for that. I'm definitely down for that. Because like
Kinda
honestly, dude, like my screen, I don't even have like a big phone, and like my screen, if like I'm holding it like a foot away from me,
Dude, like that's not
fucking plenty,
like
dude.
that's a pretty decent sized screen. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
so
I
now
think
you
it
have
was
like
all over it.
controller handles and shit. Is that what's going
Yeah,
on?
and it turns it like into like a handheld. Like here, I'll show you on screen.
Yo, like, I
I'll just go to images to make it. Or here we go. I guess this will work.
it might be a game changer here. Pardon the pun. Oh shit, like a
Like on
PSP.
Yeah, it turns your phone into a like little handheld Xbox situation.
Wow.
Oh, look, it plays Xbox, PlayStation, Call of Duty Mobile, and arcade games. So like,
And you get a fucking free month of Xbox fucking Game Pass.
yeah, it's like you could pretty much play like whatever on here.
Wild.
From what I understand, I think you could play like whatever.
Dude, that's pretty awesome.
Like you could probably get this and you get down on Fortnite for sure, Chris.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And $100, man, that's actually pretty fucking reasonable. How much does a Switch cost?
Oh, more than that. I
Yeah.
swear
More than
now.
$200.
You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
Like for $100, you can do that, and if you have access to both PlayStation and Xbox games for it, psh,
Dude, for the new OLD one, it's like 400, like 350 for a Switch.
yeah, yeah. You to have handheld gaming of that
For
level,
the original, it's 300.
crazy.
Dude, just for a set of Joy-Cons, which are the controllers, it costs $80.
That's sick. That's sick.
But I will say the Switch is pretty cool. I do enjoy it.
I'm blowing
But
it.
I also didn't pay that much for one. So
Yeah, yeah. I miss the old days of having to sit next to my light, play
Dude,
the
remember
OG
playing?
Game Boy because
Yeah, dude, or
it
the
wasn't
one where
even
you had,
backlit.
dude, have you guys seen these videos like on Instagram or whatever where the dude like he grabs his Game Boy Color and then he grabs his fucking little magnifying glass that used to slide over and like pop up and then like he plug in the little fucking light attachment that comes over and lights it up and then he fucking slides in the extra battery pack and then slides in like the fucking like the game crazy cheater thing that you put the game in and you get all the codes and then he fucking slides the little thing over it that turns the thing into a joystick and it's got the bigger buttons on it and it's like got 25,000 fucking attachments on it just to play his fucking Game Boy. Like, do you guys remember those days? Like when they'd
Dude.
have the crazy accessory packs that would have like 12 different things you could put onto your fucking Game Boy or your Game Boy Color to like make it easier to see or play or like
I'm
make the
pretty
battery
sure,
last
dude.
longer.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that I had a battery extender for my Game Boy, like the original one, and I also had the light, and it was like the same kind of light. You remember those lights you get you clip on a book?
Yep.
Yeah, and it
And
had
it
like
would
the
just like
little
have like a
bendy
little
thing.
tiny light like over top of it, and like that's like what my Game Boy light was. And I would
Yeah.
play it when we would be on like road trips, even like in the dark at night, and I'd be like just fucking playing, bro, because yeah, it didn't have a backlit screen.
Yeah.
Yep. Just Tetris for hours and hours and hours on end.
Yeah, dude, or like fucking Dr. Mario. I used to play that a lot too.
I had the Super Mario Brothers for that one that came with it, and or came out at that
In
era.
Mario.
And, I still have it kicking around somewhere.
What are the games that I've been playing on there? Donkey Kong.
What was really
Um,
weird was taking those OG games from like the very first one and putting them in a Game Boy Color, because like it attempted to colorize, but did it
See, I've
poorly.
never actually played Game Boy Color. I kind of like never bought anything after that Game Boy. But I've seen them, and like my niece and nephews have had like these handhelds. I actually was playing Switch, and I was playing Mario Kart like maybe like 3 weeks ago, and I was fucking killing it. I was playing like
Yo.
every other game with like my niece. Like I would play like a race, she would play a race, and like every time I'd be like, "All right, Evangeline, you got the lead. Just get like top 5." She'd get like 8th, and I'd be like, "Yeah, all right," and I'd like win the next one, and then I'd be like, "All right, it's up to you. Like, let's get on the podium," you know. And she would just choke and just like I'd be like, oh, "All right, well, yeah, I guess we'll try another cup."
I've been seeing that there's a go-kart place that has done a real life Mario Kart.
Yeah, Will sent me it on Instagram the other day.
Yeah, where like there's actual power-ups that can affect people, and like they'll literally like do things like stop your go-kart in the middle of the track. Yeah, bro.
Like you could shoot a rocket at your buddy, like and who's in front of you, and like it stops him, so you can like go around him.
Yeah, bro. Like real
pretty
life
cool.
Mario Kart.
Pretty dope.
We need to know where this is and plan a fucking trip. Because that sounds dope as hell.
Dude, I'm honestly pretty stoked because at the end of the month, I'm actually going to go to an amusement park for the first time in fucking forever.
Oh, that's right. That's coming up.
Yeah, dude. I'm stoked.
Dude.
No, oh, dude. And I'm going to be eating like all the Knott's Berry Farm boysenberry stuff they've got because that's my favorite shit.
Funnel
ever.
cake with the fucking
Yeah.
fruit topping. Oh, silly.
Oh,
Silly.
Dude, they
man,
have
funnel cake, just
yeah,
period,
boysenberry
bro.
beer there.
Boysenberry beer.
Yeah.
Oh man. See, I went when I was 18.
I'm
so-
pretty sure. I don't know. I haven't honestly been there since I've been able to drink to the day. No, I've been there. I went there a few years ago. It's been a long time.
The one thing that still stands out to me about there is that it's like the oldest wooden coaster on the West Coast, right? That they have something special about that wooden coaster.
They used to have one.
Oh, did they close
I
it?
don't know if it's still there anymore. But dude, it's been that amusement park's been there for quite a while.
Yeah. See, like they shut
I haven't
down
been to an
the.
amusement park in over 20 years for sure.
Dude, I just haven't been on a roller coaster in a minute, and I'm pretty stoked. They don't have like the most fantastic, like most like epic roller coasters, but they have some pretty cool ones.
Knott's Berry is like a classic amusement park. Like
Yeah,
they need
it's more
more of
for the
those again.
kids. It's
You
more for
know,
the kids and the youth.
So do they
Like,
not like add new rides every year?
no, it's not one of them where they're like adding a bunch of shit all the time. Like every now and then they'll add something. Like I don't think they've added anything new in a while.
it's. I mean, Chris, it's sponsored by Knott's Berry Farm, which is an actual farm.
Yeah, I know, but if
Like
I just assumed that
it's not
just,
Six
people
Flags.
make
Yeah.
money, right? Like you
Yeah,
reinvest
it's
the money.
no, it's not
is
as
what I
big as
thought.
like it's not as big as like a Six Flags or anything like
or like
that.
a Paramount Park or
yeah,
anything.
yeah,
like
it's
that.
not-
Right,
It's
exactly.
they don't have that much backing behind them for them to build
Oh,
like
okay.
a bunch of shit all the time.
Because
But
I
they
know
have
like
some
the
cool
amusement park
things.
that like I grew up going to, and like it's the closest like legit ones, like Canada's Wonderland. And like, dude, when I was a kid, every fucking year it'd be like, yo, there's this new ride that's getting built this summer and it opens next summer and it's gonna be fucking crazy.
It
And then
was
you'd
like
have
that.
like all that built
It
up.
used to be like that where they'd have new stuff like quite often, but it's been a while. Like the only place that's like done new stuff recently is Six Flags out here.
Same
Which
here.
would
Well,
have been like a cooler one for me because like I like that I specifically like Six Flags a little bit more just because the roller coaster options are way better and they've got some of the better ones as far
They
as
got
like
the money
speed.
put it
Yeah,
in
yeah,
improving
yeah,
their
dude.
park.
Like they have this one that it's like a hybrid wooden coaster, but it's also like got like rails and shit. But anyways, it's got two trains on it, and there's a point where like you literally are going up the like the incline together, like side by side, and then you go down, and there's this spiral section where one train's above the other while you're spiraling through this thing, and it's like you can look up and see the other. It's pretty fucking nuts, dude. It's called
Dude, that'd be crazy.
Twisted Colossus, dude. It's honestly one of my new favorite roller coasters of all time, dude.
I remember doing the Six Flags in Texas, and they had this just.
I
It was
haven't
just
been
a
to any out of
corkscrew
state,
one,
bro.
It was
I don't
weird,
think.
man. Like you got in the fucking car, and like if I remember it correctly, you went forward through a huge row of corkscrews, and then you stopped. Your car tilted so that your ass end went up, and you'd go backwards through a row of corkscrews. And then you'd go forward through that row of corkscrews, come back down, and go backwards through the row of corkscrews again, and then you're done.
Weird.
It kind of sounds like there's like this ride at Canada's Wonderland called the Bat, and you basically like it starts out where you're like in the station or like in the lineup, whatever, and you back up this like real big hill, and then what you fucking fly once you get to the very top, you like fly back down through where you just got on. So like all the people that are just about to get on see this thing fucking fly by them doing like 60 miles an hour. Then you go up, do like a loop, and then you go up, like come out of the loop and like do like this weird corkscrew, go through another loop, and then you start going up the opposite side, and then you link back on, and it fucking brings you back up all the way. And this time you'll be going backwards. So then you go through the whole thing backwards. It's a fucking trip. It's not really like the biggest ride, but I remember when it first came out, dude, I was probably like 8, and I went on it with my dad, and there was like a kid, there was just fucking crying like right before I got on. And like I was pretty tall, so maybe I wasn't even 8, but like I was like fairly tall fairly quickly. So like, when they had the broomstick, like I would hit that mark at like a younger age. And like my dad's like, "You sure you want to go on?" And I can vividly remember saying like, "Yeah, we just waited an hour and a half. Like, of course I do. Like, this is exactly what I want to do."
Like there's this one roller coaster that I'm going to ride when we get there. It's called Accelerator. It's one of those ones where you get on and it literally launches you from the start at like 80 miles an hour.
Oh, so it's like that Superman ride.
Yeah, so like launches you up this giant fucking incline, dude, where it's like kind of like a straight up sort of straight down situation. That one's pretty fun. This one's called Silver Bullet. It's like a suspended roller coaster thing. That one's pretty cool. They have a pretty nice. They do have a nice wooden roller coaster called Ghost Rider. That one's kind of cool because like There are like points in the year where they'll run it backwards.
Yeah,
So
those
it's
are
like
dope.
so you're riding a wooden roller coaster backwards. It does kind of beat you up a little bit. You know, those
Dude,
are one of the ones where it's not
what
super.
good wooden roller coaster does not beat you
Yeah.
up, bro?
There
That's
used to
like
be
part of
a
the
What else do
fucking
they have there that I'm
excitement.
excited? They have one of those. It's called Supreme Scream. It's one of those tower ones where it'll take you all the way up to the top, and then all of a sudden you just fall and it just drops you. Those ones are pretty cool. They have this one. It's called Montezuma's Revenge, I believe, where it's one of those ones where it's like Chris was saying, where it'll take you all the way up to the top. It'll fucking drop you. You drop through the station. You go up this fucking loop all the way up to the top, and then you're there. And then they drop you again, and you go backwards through the loop. It's like a real quick one, but it's pretty fucking cool.
dude.
They used to have another one like that too. That was called like Boomerang or something, but I don't think it's there anymore. But they have this other one there that Nick was talking about the other day, but that I don't remember. But I'm excited for it, man. It's gonna be fun. Gonna hang out with some friends. It's gonna be good, man.
Maybe play some carny games, even though they're all
All I know is
rigged.
I'm definitely getting me some funnel cake. I'm getting me boysenberry stuff. I'm gonna ride some rides. I'm gonna hang out.
Definitely
gonna
got to
be
bring
good.
back some of those filled cookies.
Oh yeah.
Boysenberry filled Knott's berry cookies.
Couple fucking jars of jam, dude, for the fucking house.
Yo,
There's all the
That's-
boysenberry things, dude. It's honestly one of my favorite things in life, to be honest with you. I love it.
boysenberry is a unique flavor to be like.
It's
That's
just
one of my
not
favorites.
not specifically, bro. It's a memory thing, bro. Because like I've always had it in my house growing up. It was something my grandma loved, and it was just something we bonded on, man. And since you passed, like it's just one of those things that makes me think of her, and it was just like, hell yeah, dude, boysenberry,
Carrying
bro.
it on, boysenberry.
dude. Boysenberry, bro.
Keep that boysenberry vibe flowing,
Dude, that shit's fire, son.
dude. Boysenberry is a banger. Berries are bangers in general.
Yeah.
I like
Black-
Now I
jams.
want some.
Blackberries, raspberries.
I wonder
all
if
the
I have
berries.
any jam. I probably have some jam.
I only buy jam.
You don't
Fuck
buy
a jelly.
There's like grape jelly I don't mind. But like that's really the only jelly that I would buy. Normally I would buy like jam or like preserve where there's even
Yep.
more chunks.
Yeah, exactly. I want all the chunks I can get. So preserves or jams.
It's
man.
weird too because like I don't really like pulp and orange juice. So but maybe it's just because it's jam is different, but like I like a fucking strawberry jam that's like really chunky.
Yes.
And I
dude.
actually don't like strawberries like by themselves. I would never eat like a bowl of strawberries or what. I don't even particularly like strawberry pie.
See, like I like a good strawberry pie. I'll fuck with some strawberry jam. I'll fuck with the strawberry shortcakes. Oh yeah. Love it. Love it.
Yeah, I just kind of like the jam or preserve of strawberry. But most of the other berries, yeah.
But yeah, a nice waffle with some fucking peanut butter and strawberry jam on it. Psh, awesome. Awesome. PB&J
Dude,
waffle.
I'm fucking hungry now, boys.
Well, it's a good time to be hungry because this show is coming to a close, and we had a pretty wild and exciting episode. So I'm glad that everybody tuned in to join us. Big shout out to all of you, the Shedheads out there listening. We love each and every one of you. I'm going to send it around the room, let the boys sign out. So Uncle Chris, kick it off.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much. Appreciate you guys listening in. Of course, you know, if you guys want, you can help support us by going over to Patreon, Shedtime Podcast. Every little bit counts. Certain tiers kind of get you certain levels of unlocks, I guess, if you will. So just make sure you check that out when you're on the site before you hit the support button. Of course, you know, you guys can listen to us anywhere. Just Google us. Leave a review. That'd be cool. Always helps us out. Of course, if you guys don't want to stop helping us out there, you guys can check me out on Tuesday nights on Mixing It Up on KBTV's YouTube channel. Just do some e-liquid mixing. Of course, you can check the three of us out on the Green Room on Fridays on Frame Shankland Vapors YouTube channel. And lastly, I'm going to say you can check out my website if you want. It's unclechris.testinggrounds.com, and if you use the coupon code Shedtime, it'll save you a little bit of money. And everybody likes to save a little bit of money these days, which I appreciate because I too am one of those people. So I think that's it for me. I will catch you guys next week. And just remember, you only live once. James.
Oh yeah.
That's not actually my tagline. What the fuck is it again? I forgot. God damn it. Live your best life.
Your best life.
Live your best life. I remembered. Fuck. Like right when I said it. Sorry, James. Like I said it,
Pothead
I'm like, yo,
problems.
Oh,
why'd I say
man.
that? Why'd I say that?
leave it to Chris.
YOLO'd.
Anyway, shout out to the Shedheads. Thank you guys for all your continuous support. Make sure you check out the Patreon if you guys want to continue, supporting us other than just listening. It's greatly appreciated. Other than that, like Chris said, you can catch us on Friday on my YouTube channel for the Green Room. We got build offs, we got hangouts, we got all kinds of stuff going on over there. So come check us out over there on the YouTubes. Other than that, we'll be here in the shed doing the same thing as we always do, hanging out, throwing a little sesh, talking some shit. And looking forward to the next one, boys. I'm going to end as I always do, sending up positive vibes, crisp high fives, and remember, a little dab will do you.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, ShedTimePodcast.com. It's where you can go to get all the links to all the things, including Patreon, all the past episodes, and anything you want to know about us. So with that, I'm going to bring it to a close like I always do and remind you, don't let the bastards get you down. Be cool, don't be a dick, and whatever it is that you do, be sure to have some fun. It's the Shed Time Podcast, and we're about to roll on up and roll on out. I think Uncle Chris just needs to combine both of those and say, you only live once, so live your best life.
Well, you know what? In fairness to myself, I think that's the first time that I fucked that up that way. I've fucked it up different ways, but that's the first time I've done it that way.